Okay, so today we will see into the story of Israel. When Israel was being led from Egypt to the promised land, and as they were going, the journey was a big long one. Everyone knows it was a 40 years journey, and it was actually a 10 to 12 days journey by walk, but only because they grumbled, they sinned against God. Okay, with all the miracles, signs, wonders that God had shown them, even after all seeing that and seeing this wondrous miracle that happened, the sea splitting apart, and after that they even saw the cloud of God taking them in the heat of the sun. Okay, and in the night there was a fire that led him upon them to keep them warm. After seeing all these wondrous signs, what God did, even though these people they grumbled against God, okay, they sinned against God, there was sin in the camp, and because of that, God made their journey to 40 years long. And all that generation, that all those people, about 20 years, that grumbled against God, that sinned against God, God said that this generation will not go into the promised land. Only because they grumble, they will die over here in the desert. Okay, and their children, they will see the promised land, 20 years and below. So 40 years, in 40 years, all that generation that grumbled, about 20 years, everyone died. So one such incident that happened when they were going and the journey was long, and this incident was continuously happening. These people were sinning and then grumbling, okay, and then God getting angry upon them. So there was this one such incident, but it says in Numbers 21:4, but the people grew impatient with the long journey, and they began to speak against God and Moses. Why have you brought us out of Egypt to die here in the wilderness? They complained. There is nothing to eat here and nothing to drink, and we have this horrible manna. This is what they spoke. Okay, the food that came from heaven. God poured out food on them. Has anyone heard up till now? No. Did anyone see a sea going apart? No. Did anyone see the cloud of God up till now? No. Did anyone see the fire leading them in the desert? No. Seeing all this, these people grumbled, even though they were just grumbling and grumbling and grumbling. If you go to see, it is in our human nature, we keep grumbling a lot. Something here and something keeps coming out, coming. The whole atmosphere changes everywhere. Another person's atmosphere changed, the third person's atmosphere is changed. It is very important what kind of an atmosphere we carry. We got to stop this attitude of ours. It's there in human nature, but we got to stop it. And then it is very irritating. The God got angry with them, with what they were doing. And then these people, they spoke against God himself and about Moses. What is this? And this horrible food manna you have given us. You know, people keep names for food, but these guys, to the heavenly food, they called horrible manna. It says in Psalms 78:24, He rained down manna for them to eat. He gave them bread from heaven. They didn't realize that, daily eating. This was a bread given from heaven. They ate the food of angels. Can you imagine? The food of angels, these guys, they ate. God gave them all they could hold. But in spite of this, the people kept sinning. Despite his wonders, they refused to trust upon him. With his wonders, despite all these wonders, these people see God is doing wonders in front of them. When then God got angry. When God began killing them, how much time do God give? Little bit, little bit. At last, God also got fed up. It says God began killing them. Because this thing goes too much. Someone who is getting on your nerves. Then it says, the next verse, it says, when God began killing them, then finally they sought him, they repented and took God seriously. Now the other people they saw, these people are all grumbling. They said, my God, my turn is next. Let me not do it now. Then they started seeking God. So God gives chance, for us. We got to stop it. We got to stop certain things in life. Okay, so we are also in a journey. As these guys had the promised land, God told them, I'm going to take you to the promised land, to the land flowing with milk and honey. These guys were on the promised land, and so are we. We are all on a promised land. Jesus said, I'm coming soon. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. I'm coming soon. The road is going to be difficult. Now, Jesus himself says over here, you can enter God's kingdom only through the narrow gate. The highway to hell is broad and its gates is wide for many who choose that way. Okay, so we have got a promised land, the land flowing with milk and honey. And Jesus says that the gates are narrow over there. But the gateway to life is very narrow and the road is difficult, and only a few ever find it. Many people give up on this way when they see the harsh things that happen. There are two roads only, there is no third road. Jesus said, one road that goes to hell and one road that goes to heaven. After this life, there is a heaven and a hell. Nothing else is there. Many people take it as a joke. Hell, very easily we say go to hell. But they don't realize what is hell. Jesus spoke a lot about hell. What is hell? He says hell is so horrible that there are worms over there that do not die. Okay, we are entering into the spirit world over here after this. The spirit never dies. If anyone goes to hell, it's very, very horrible. So the road is going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy. That's what Jesus said. And these guys, they started grumbling. So we also are on a journey. We are also on our way. So we should choose not to grumble. So these things are all for examples for us. How do we live our life? Then Jesus said in John 6:32, Jesus said, I tell you the truth. Moses didn't give you bread from heaven. My Father did. And now he offers you the true bread from heaven. Now Jesus is talking to them that the bread that these people got, which they grumbled. Okay, Moses didn't give them that bread. My Father gave them the bread. And now he offers you the true bread for heaven. That bread was a perishable bread. But now he says God offers you the true bread from heaven. And then Jesus says, the true bread of God is the one who comes down from heaven and gives life to the world. This is the true bread. And then when the disciples were hearing this, they said, Sir, they said, give us that bread every day. Give us this bread every day, they're saying. So there was an incident where Jesus fed some 5,000 and plus people. When they ate food, the next day these people came to Jesus to make him king. And when they come to Jesus, you know what Jesus tell them? Truly, truly I say to you, you come to me to make king is because you ate the food. You all do not want to work, you all want the free food. Today everyone in the world wants free food, no one wants to work for it. And when they get, then they start grumbling. What is this? Jesus replied, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never be hungry again. Whoever believes in me will never be thirsty. For I have come down from heaven to do the will of God who sent me, not to do my own will. And this is the will of God, that I should not lose even one of all those he has given me, but that I should rise them up at the last day. For it is my Father's will that all who see his Son and believe in him should have eternal life. This is the bread that Jesus is talking about. I have come down from there, and everyone who sees me and everyone who believes will have eternal life. And then I will raise them up at the last day. Not that anyone has ever seen the Father, only I, who was sent from God, have seen him. He says, up till now, no one has seen the Father, the God himself. No one has seen him till Jesus Christ comes. And then Jesus Christ tells, only I, this is the NLT translation that I am reading, only I, who was sent from God, have seen him. Only I have seen him. Anyone that has seen God cannot live. But Jesus said, I have seen God, I have come from him. I tell you the truth, anyone who believes has eternal life. Yes, I am the bread of life. That's why it's very hard for people to believe. They hear, they accept everything, but the believing part, then they believe on many other things. There are crazy amounts of gods. Leave India, you go to any country, they have their own God. In their own country, there are so many religions. Which one to believe? But Jesus says, anyone who believes upon me, I have come there, I have seen the Father, I am the true bread. Then Jesus tells to them, your ancestors ate manna in wilderness, but they all died. That was a perishable bread. Anyone who eats the bread from heaven, however, will never die. And he says, I am the bread that has come down from heaven.